Hello, jazz guitar people. This is going to be a video about my post about some of the ideas I've come up with, and you can laugh at them or whatever, or ignore them, more likely. Or just go, what is he on about now? But I thought there's some interesting sounds and ideas which I thought come really out of the nature of acoustics, and I thought I'd show you some stuff. I've got a piano here, a real piano. I'm not sure if I can... I'm at my teaching job today, so I just thought I'd make a quick video, see if I can get the camera to put the keyboard in shot properly, which is going to be quite tricky. Okay, so you're gonna have to go at the end of the keyboard like that, I guess, which is not really very helpful. But anyway, I'll talk through what I'm doing. So if I hold down a C chord with one hand, so if I hold on a D. What am I talking about? So this starts with the stacking of fifths, right? Because the fifths on the piano are more in tune than the thirds. So if I play a fifth, that's not too far off a pure interval. Same with the fourth, actually. Okay, we're going to use the fifth because it's acoustic. The fourth isn't really acoustic. The fifth is an overtone. The fourth is an undertone. And I'm not talking about the excellent punk band from the late 70s. Yeah, so that is fifth, that's fourth, right? So we're going to use the fifth. You compare that to the sound of a minor third, for instance. That is a complex minor third, it's a complex major third. They're not quite right, but the fifth is much more exact. So I'm going to use the fifth, and we start with one note. So if I play one, if I just depress that note so the hammer is lifting off the key, that's a G, I play a C underneath it. Oh, didn't work that time. Let me try in a higher register. Sorry, I've got to get it so that it doesn't actually sound. Yeah, you can hear that. And you can do that for two notes. So if I put a major third, C and an E, that would be G and B. You hear the major seventh chord there, right? So if I do that with a whole triad, then we go up a fifth to the G major, so C major, depress down, G, B, D, and then C. You can hear clearly the G major chord there. So if I do that with the major seventh, and I do it with the G major seventh, not quite getting the F sharp there. There you can hear that it vibrates. It's not particularly strong on that chord for some reason. Let me try a different register just in case that improves things. In theory it should ring. Yeah, you can hear it there. Yeah. Right. So the point is that you can really stack things in fifths. So if I stack a major third in fifths, and then I keep stacking, I get a C Lydian mode, but then what I also get is a C sharp. And actually if I play all those notes together, you can hear that they sound kind of euphonious and united. I mean, if I put an F in there, it would sound far more dissonant. Right? So I see the C sharp, and Warren Marsh saw it this way, as an upper extension of the C major sound. Okay, so this does work only if you've got the right supporting structure. It's a bit like a sharp 11th. So if I play a sharp 11th against a C triad, it sounds like it wants to resolve up to G, whereas if I play it with the B, it starts to sound like a overtone of that chord, because of course the B and the B, F sharp, are a fifth apart, and if the piano's in tune, that fifth should not be too far off from just intonation. So, in the same way, we need an F sharp to get that C sharp on the go. Otherwise, it will just sound like a dissonance. Right? So if we put the and I think, in theory, it should just be enough just to have the F sharp and the C sharp. Let's just try that. I think that kind of works. Your mileage may vary with that. It certainly works when we've got the other notes in as well. Anyway, Warren Marsh certainly thought of this as a note you could sit on, and his 2-octave scale goes something like this. So basically, for the first octave, we start off in C major, and then we go up to C. We go to D major, more or less. To get the sound of that particular chord, which is the C major 13 sharp 11th with an extra C sharp on top. Now this doesn't work for minor because minor just stacks up a lot more orderly. So again, sorry, just get that without sounding. I didn't really hear that. Let me just try it in the next octave up. It'll be a bit clearer. Yeah, okay, you can hear that, more or less. And you keep stacking up so I can stack. It gets interesting when you have these sort of multi-octave things going on. So that's just a D Dorian, right? But I can go in several octaves. I can go D minor 7th, E minor 7th, F sharp minor 7th. It's, you know, interesting idea. Maybe there could be extended tonalities, you know, based around these sorts of things, bringing them a bit closer. Major over minor is usually thought to be pretty ugly, but I think there's a sort of that could be used in some sort of contemporary music or something. It's got a certain sound to it. Another one that people know about, obviously, is the F major over the F sharp major over the C sharp. F sharp major over C. So this kind of thing. That's got a fairly long history. So a sense of resolution can be found by moving now that's kind of going down, and I mean you could also do it in fifths, right? So if we go up in fifths, C major, C major sound there, and I'm stacking just triads and fifths on top of each other. So obviously, if you move around the other way, I do something like, let's start on the F sharp, and then E major. Sorry, my terrible piano playing is letting me down, but basically, let's start on E major actually. And then D major. So the idea is like by moving around the cycle of fourths, you're kind of actually, unlike fifths where you're following the overtones, the fourths is the opposite direction. So that is to me why cycle 4 progressions work, because they're kind of, you know, they got that movement going on, whereas we go the other direction, like Hey Joe, has a different effect. So basically if you go up the fifths, then you are advancing into the overtones of the original chord, so it doesn't feel like it's gone too far away from the original tonality, whereas if you're using the fourth-wise progression, you create a sense of movement. So that to me is why the cycle of fourths works so well. And you know, also descending down steps in the scale, which is a similar and related movement. Anyway, I don't know if that made much sense to anybody. I would say, like, I'm kind of thinking very much from the point of view of this as my basic sort of thing. So like, the dominant 7th chord for me is not a chord in its own right. It's something which resolves to another chord. So when we play something through it, you know, it could be anything really. I mean, if I'm going G7, C major, So if I'm going you'll notice I use the F sharp on the G7 chord there, if you've got good ears. So these are the sorts of lines that I like to play, because I don't really see the dominant chord as having its own sort of harmonic realm. It's just kind of, because if I stack a fifth up on top of that, I get a G7 chord, right, on C7 and G7, as a major seventh in it as well. So for me, all the notes are up for grabs on a dominant chord. You can do whatever you like as long as it moves into the next chord. Tritone substitutes, altered scales are an expression of kind of symmetry. So for instance, if we got a C6 chord, we'll take every other note out of that. What was it? Sorry, I'm getting confused again. This is the... That's the tritone mixolydian mode, and then you move to... So it's kind of the opposite of the... you know, of the 6/9 chords, like pentatonic scales. If I play C pentatonic, all the notes which are left out are there's a way of making an efficient cadence, right? So, you know, if this is major chord, and so on. Anyway, that's my theory of harmony. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.